There's one thing I've heard so many women repeat over and over again, and that is men don't know what the hell they want. Men are confusing, they're frustrating, and it just becomes a huge annoyance to the point where a lot of women don't want to bother with dating and relationships. And it all stems from the fact that a lot of women feel men are throwing them mixed signals. All right? Does he like me? Does he not like me? What the hell is actually going on? So I want to break down why these men or why some men are sending you mixed signals, but also how you need to better handle it and the things you need to understand about this whole dynamic. Now, let me make clear real quick, none of these things are validation, so to speak, of a man's behavior when he is giving you mixed signals. I'm just explaining it to you so you can have clarity about the situation. But again, there's a bigger picture I want you to hear at the very end. So the first reason why men send you mixed signals is because he wants you, but he doesn't think he's the one for you. So let me give you a quick story. I remember years ago, I was in Uber driving. It was in Miami. And the Uber driver, it was a man, and he recognized me, right? So we get to talking about relationships and dating, and he needed some advice with a situation he was facing. And after we addressed his situation, he brought up this very profound point to me. He said, you know, growing up, women are fed the whole fantasy idea of the happily ever after. Not saying people don't live happily ever after, but just saying a lot of more women are fed that through the movies, the books, cartoons, whatever, right? However, what he has noticed is that as adults, and in addition to the whole happily ever after, the whole concept of the one, all right, that one person is something that women are fed more often. However, what he's noticed and observed is that as adults, men seem to hold stronger to that, all right? Men seem to be the one that's like, yeah, I like her, but she's not the one. Or I don't think I'm right for her. And women on the other side, when they find this man that they really like, that they really want, not all women, of course, but many will latch onto it. They want to make it work to the point where some will overlook red flags, overlook their intuition, dismiss talking to God, you name it, because they've locked into what they want. But the man, in a lot of cases, won't take it that far. And what this leads to is these situations where the man wants you in the sense that he desires you. And you have to understand that just because someone desires you doesn't mean they value you. Or just because someone desires you doesn't mean they can see them spending their life with you. Desire could simply be, I want to be in her presence for the time being. I enjoy some of the benefits I think she can provide. It may be built out of lust, infatuation, but deep inside, he senses or knows he's not the right guy for you. And by default, you're not the one for him. And that's the thing. If you're not the one for him, he's not the one for you, at the end of the day, it boils down to the same thing, right? But because a lot of men are, let's just say, weak to their flesh, because some of you are going to say, well, if he knows he's not the right one for me, or I'm not for him, why the hell is he bothering me? Why is he even flirting? Why is he doing these things that cause confusion? And again, I repeat, this is not validation, this is explanation. Because as I said, being weak to the flesh causes people, and men in this case, to get caught up in the moment, all right? To have moments where he allows that desire for you to blind him into acting out and doing things that will lead to confusion. And then once he kind of snaps out of the moment, he pulls back. And it just continues to be this push and pull because it's like he wants it, but he knows he shouldn't be there. He's not the one for you. Now, let me make something very clear. There are some men who know he's not the one for you or you're not for him, and they don't give a damn. And those men, rather than just simply throw mixed signals, they will move forward with trying to be with you, even though they have no desire or no willingness to truly be what you need. all right? They have no intentions of ever becoming that man. They're simply trying to take from you all that they can. So now you could make the argument that that man will still show a level of mixed signals within the relationship, but his willingness to even go in a relationship with you when he's unwilling to step up to the plate is blatantly a man who's just trying to take advantage of you and be selfish in that situation, so to speak. But the dynamic that I'm really speaking to is the man who he doesn't seem willing to cross that line because, again, he knows it's not the right thing to do, but he has this temptation towards you, so to speak. Now, let me also throw this out there because I think a lot of women don't realize how often this next thing happens. There are men who have a conscience, okay? And when I say that, I mean like they meet a woman like yourself. They view you in high regard. And you got to understand, not believing you're the one for them or they're the one for you does not equate to not viewing you as a great woman. It doesn't equate to not thinking that you would make a great wife. It's just them feeling that this isn't the right fit, all right? And when you have a situation where the man knows he is not the right fit and he views you in high regard, he becomes less willing to fully engage with you, all right? So like I've heard men throughout all my life where in some situations they'll be like, you know what, she's a really good girl. I don't even, hell, I know of men who are even friends with women who they may be highly attracted to that woman, want to sleep with her, as you know, if the opportunity came, they would love to jump on it, right? But they view her in such high regard and they know that crossing that line could lead to hurting her, so they'll like leave it alone altogether. But because the desire still exists or the attraction still exists, it can lead to moments of what is going to be interpreted as mixed signals. So this guy may not be blatantly trying to confuse you. I mean, he's not blatantly trying to confuse you. He's just not mastering his own desires. He's not understanding what levels he needs to take it to manage the situation better and not create confusion in you. He may also think his mixed signals are not affecting you. All right? He may not understand the impact it has on you, and that can lead to him continuing with this constant pattern. And we'll touch a little bit more on that as we go along in this list. But that is one of the reasons or one of the scenarios that lead to a man sending you mixed signals. The second reason a man sends you mixed signals, and this is in no particular order, of course, is he wants you, but he's not ready to be the man you deserve. All right? So this is different than number one, where he wanted you, but he feels deep inside you guys are not the ones for each other in the long run. So because he views you in high regard, he's not trying to cross the line, but again, temptation gets the best of him. In this case, he feels like you are that woman. He wants to be with you, but he doesn't feel ready. And his lack of readiness could be for various reasons. It could be lack of readiness because he feels like he's not at a financial position that he needs to be at. And again, notice I said the man that you deserve, because it's not simply about what you may verbally say to him is acceptable. So what I'm saying here is, if we're using the financial situation, you in your mind might say, well, listen, I don't care about the money. It's no big deal. I love this man. I would take him as he is. But he has internalized that you deserve better than that. That he wants to give you more than that. And as well, not just what he wants to give to you, what he wants for himself to feel confident and secure in that relationship with you. Because a lot of that stems from a personal thing, a personal goal that men have set for themselves before they feel like they can be properly in a relationship or feel adequate in a relationship. So it could be money. In some scenarios, and I would argue this especially or more specifically when the man is a lot younger, he feels like he's not done playing the field. Now, I know some of you might say, well, if he loves this woman and he feels like she's the one, why wouldn't he be done playing the field? Listen, the unfortunate reality is that Some men have a desire, a curiousness, a thirst that needs to be quenched, or they feel needs to be quenched, all right? And they understand that with this woman who is before them, who they view as she's it, they know that there's a level of commitment and sacrifice that has to be given to be with this woman. And if they have not gotten certain things out of their system, right? And they understand that once they cross the line with this woman, ain't no going back. I mean, yes, of course you could say, well, they could end up broken up or divorced one day. Yeah, but you're not going in thinking, okay, let me just try to be with her and then I'll just break up with her later. No, he's thinking, okay, if I view her as my forever, then I understand once I cross the line, that's it. It's done. I can't go back to dibbling and dabbling in the streets or whatever. And now, let me make clear, not every man is like this. There are some men who are not, they have no desire for it. I would say they're not even wired for that. They just don't care. They are relationship guys, like what I like to call them, and they're quickly ready to give up the other options, so to speak, to be with this one woman. But then there are some guys who, yeah, they've been dreaming about the chance to have the opportunity to date different women and things of that nature. Not saying whether it's right or wrong, just saying this is what it is. And hell, you may have caught them at a time where they just started seeing success in dating and meeting women. And so now it's like, man, I don't know if I want to give this up just yet, because again, once I give it up, it's done. It's a wrap. So it could be money. It could be wanting to play the field. It could be things that's in the sense that not being where he wants to be. Let's say he lives with his mom. You know, the situation not what it is. Whatever. It's a variety of reasons. But the bottom line is he feels like I am not ready or able at the moment to be what you deserve. However, what you're going to notice is the common denominator in all of this mixed signal action, at least for the guy who has a level of respect for you, is that because there is still a desire for you, there are still moments of getting caught up. Or there's still going to be times where he gets caught up in the moment. There's still going to be times where he allows his desire, his flesh, whatever you want to call it, to get the best of him. Again, not saying it's right, not saying it's healthy. I'm just explaining what human nature is for a lot of people. All right? A lot of people know, you know what, this isn't best to do this, but because there's that part of you that wants to, you end up engaging in ways that you shouldn't have engaged. And it can create confusion. So some of you might be dealing with the man who's like, he's telling you he's not ready, or he's not, you know, he doesn't think he can be what you need at the moment, but yet he still wants to see you. Yet he may still try to sleep with you. And I'm not saying there aren't some situations where the guy's just playing games, and we'll talk about that more later. But there are scenarios where, no, he actually is genuine about his lack of readiness, but he is not being, we could use mature, wise. He's not doing what's best as far as managing the situation, understanding now is not the time for it. So that's another huge, big reason why a man will send you mixed signals. All right, so now we're on to the third reason. And the third reason he sends you mixed signals is because he wants you, but he can't have you. And let me rephrase that a little bit. He perceives or believes he's not able to have you. So what do I mean? This may sound a little tricky, but let me break it down for you, all right? There might be a guy who likes you, who has interest, but for various reasons, whether it's you curved him before, and if you don't know what curved means, you declined his advances before, you ignored him, maybe you didn't answer his DM, whatever the case may be, right? Your action, intentionally or unintentionally, planted a seed in him that says, you ain't really got a shot here, bruh. It's not going to work. However, he still likes to throw his little flirts here and there, show you interest here and there. Now, here's the thing. If you really don't have any interest in him, then you may not care. And his 1 minute seeming like his foot's in the door, 1 minute the foot's out, maybe like whatever, he's just stupid and annoying, right? But let's just say there's a scenario that you actually do have a level of interest, or maybe you developed interest later on, right? And maybe when he caught you before, it was just bad timing. There might be reasons why you were not receptive at the moment that he does not understand. But again, His mixed signal is based on the idea that he's thinking, I can't really get you, but I'm still gonna play this flirting game with you and showing interest. This little back and forth banter that he thinks is just you're entertaining with him, not realizing it may be confusing the hell out of you, right? And think about it like this. Like, I've seen situations where the man flirts, and again, in the moment, a lot of these scenarios are people getting caught up in the moment. In the moment, he's maybe engaging and talking like he's really feeling you like that. And it's not that he doesn't have actual interest, but because he doesn't see this going anywhere or doesn't believe you're even taking him seriously, he's not consistent with it. He just does it in the moment and then he retreats back to whatever, all right? But little does he know little do you know, if he actually knew he had a legitimate shot and could get you, it may turn his signal into something consistent, all right? Or on the flip side, if he knew it was annoying the hell out of you and you made that clear to him, in some cases that might stop it. But if we're being honest, some men are going to just always be persistent and pursue and things of that nature. And let's speak about the persistence real quick. Because sometimes the mixed signal in this scenario is not just about he doesn't think he can have you. It's just him being persistent when he has the energy to. And what I mean by that is, again, he's tried before. Let's say he's the guy who's DM'd you 5 times before, and it took 5 times before you even responded. Or maybe you responded once, and then you stopped responding, whatever. And it could be other engagements. Maybe you guys see each other at work, whatever the case may be. Some men believe that by being persistent, eventually you'll give in and give them an opportunity. But even in that persistence, they may not be consistent because it can get tiresome to keep trying over and over again. And when I mean trying over and over again, consistently, like every day he sees you, he's consistently showing that he has interest, or every week. So it becomes I hate to say game, but it comes a situation where when he has the energy or he's in a good mood, he shoots his shot. And in other days, he looks like he's not really interested. But it's not he's not interested. He just doesn't have the energy to try today. All this, I know, sounds confusing as hell, right? But again, I'm trying to give you clarity on what many of you are facing and deal with when you come across these men who show you or send you these mixed signals. All right, so hopefully you are still with me and your head hasn't exploded yet from all this information. But again, let's keep this going because there is more to explain. So another reason why a man sends you mixed signals is because he wants you, but he's taken. Now, I know some of you are already saying, well, if that man is taken, he needs to mind his damn business and leave me alone. Go tend to his woman. Why are you bringing that energy over here? I get it. But the reality is that's not how it typically, or that's not how it always plays out. And so you have scenarios where the man meets a woman that he is attracted to, maybe even have interest. And let me make something real clear before I even continue. And I am in no way, again, this is not validation. This is not saying any of this is okay. But we as a coach, I can tell you there's a lot of people who are unhappy in their relationship. I can tell you there's a lot of people who, there's a lot of damage and a lot of lack going on in their relationship. Now, I know the answer is, well, why not just leave your relationship then? Why not just be single if you want to be able to entertain other individuals? And yes, that would be the best course of action. However, many people, for various reasons, struggle to walk away. And due to a lot of unhealthy attachments, they just don't know, or it's hard for them to accept letting go, even though many have already emotionally checked out. All right. Now, again, this is not to say it's okay, but it is to explain why there are a lot of people who entertain the idea of someone outside of their relationship while they're still in it. Because I think sometimes people think, oh, these people they have a happy home. Why are they doing this? It's not a happy home. In most scenarios, it's not a happy home. And this is what contributes to them feeling like they want to get that attention or engage elsewhere. Now, I'm not saying no one has ever try to flirt with someone else even when they had a happy home, but in most cases it's not. But anyways, man meets the woman, he's interested, finds her attractive, he wants to create rapport with her. It's kind of this idea of maybe keeping her in his back pocket for future reference. So it's basically like, okay, he knows he's with his girl. He can't tell you he's in a relationship, because if he tells you, then not only does he lose the opportunity to create some kind of, I hate using the word connection here, but being able to vibe with you, talk to you, maybe exchange numbers, but there's a very good chance that he also could kill just any potential of anything happening later. So in his mind, he figures, okay, I'm not going to tell her that. However, he's not truly available to fully dive in. So you have this situation where, yes, he gets your number. Yes, he talks to you sometimes, but he can be lukewarm. He can be very limited in his communication with you. For example, there's tons of scenarios where the man says, I can only talk to you after 9 o'clock. Okay? And I hate to laugh, but I'm just saying, it may not be after 9, it might be before a certain time. And it's pretty much structured around when his girl will or will not be home. All right? There's a lot of things that happen out there. But the point is, this can lead to a lot of mixed signals. Now, to just help you with this one scenario, let me say this. And at the end of the day, this is what really a lot of this boils down to. Because some of you might say, well, how are we supposed to know when this man is taken or not? Because that's a scenario you really don't want to be engaged in. I'm just going to say this one thing for right now. The guy who is in a relationship and sending those kind of mixed signals seems to be kind of in and out, not fully there. This is a guy who can't make any corrections. And so what I'm saying is, when you address it with him, he's not able to correct anything. Like, there's some guys who won't correct it because they just don't care enough. This guy can't. Like, if you say, all right, well, listen, I need to talk to you before 9 sometimes, right? or whatever other times there are. Nah, I can't do that. All he got is excuses. He can never make any kind of adjustments for you, any kind of compromises. Then, there's a good chance he's just unavailable, plain and simple. But bottom line is, yes, that's what happens in a lot of situations. And because he's in a relationship, yeah, he's just very indecisive. He can't fully commit. He can't fully do a lot of things because he has someone else. But I do not want you to jump to that conclusion when a man says mixed signals. This is one of those things where I'm shedding some light on it, but it's hard to prove. It's hard to know 100% unless this man comes clean, all right? So just putting it out there for you to be aware of. All right, now real quick, I'm telling you about mixed signals, but there is a man out there who won't send you mixed signals, and that's the man God has for you. Get your book today. Get your copy. Click the link in the description or in the comments section. Best-selling book, Women Are Loving It. Or you can go to www.themangodhasforyou.com. All right, so we got a few more to go, or 3 more to go, and another couple bonus things I got to mention to you. So the next thing real quick is he sends mixed signals because he's playing games. Now, I know we automatically think playing games is some devious, blatant, manipulating, horrible thing that a person does, right? And it's unhealthy no matter what. However, I wanted to highlight this from the angle of some men are playing games because they're trying to actually gain your interest. Now, I know you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why do that if he wants me more interested? It's causing me to lose interest. Well, here's the unfortunate reality. There's a lot of toxic information that's put out there, and there's a lot, I have to acknowledge, there's a lot of toxic behavior that enforces these beliefs. And what I mean by that is this. There are men who are told and taught that sometimes the worse you treat a woman, the better she's going to treat you. They're taught that don't show her too much attention and watch how she starts to show you more attention. You know what I'm saying? Pull back from her, ignore her, and you'll have her chasing you. Things of this nature. Now, here's the reality. As I said, people do it because it's worked. When I say work, I don't, again, to me, it doesn't work in the grand scheme of things as far as if you have to do all that, this is an unhealthy foundation you're laying in a relationship, and it's going to expose or lead to bigger problems later, right? But in regards to getting that reaction they want in that moment, it has worked for many men. And because of that, many men now take these tactics on to the next woman. And yes, believe it or not, onto a woman they're into. It's not even, oh, I don't think highly of her. Oh, I'm just trying to play. No, it's, okay, I gotta have the upper hand. I gotta make sure she wants me. I can't end up being some sucker for her, so let me do these different things. Now, again, it's unhealthy, it's wrong. Either side that does it, because let's face it, if we're being honest here, there are women that do these types of things too, all right? They pull back thinking, okay, well, no, you're gonna chase me. No, you're gonna have to work for me, whatever the case may be. And at the end of the day, we have to learn how to communicate, be more transparent with each other, and take healthy steps towards building a relationship. But I say all that to say that, yes, this can be the cause of the mixed signal. But, of course, there are just the guys who are playing games, as in blatantly playing games, trying to manipulate out of ill intentions, trying to use you, trying to turn the tables on you, things of that nature. So it can be both sides. And again, in a minute, I'm going to explain to you how to just navigate all of this, because the answer to all of this is the same thing, all right? But let's keep this going. All right, so now the second to last reason why a man sends you mixed signals is because he's scared, all right? What do I mean by that? Oh, he's scared. I know you feel bad for him, right? So, so the thing is that, again, as I've explained in different videos, for a lot of men, when they're really into a woman, it can be a frightening experience, because it creates so much vulnerability in that man, depending on what he's been through in the past. If he hasn't properly healed from some of these past experiences, these things can cause him to be a little cautious, overly cautious. And because of that, and those fears getting the best of him, again, he's not consistent with his actions. He's not as clear with his actions. He comes off just downright confusing. And the unfortunate reality is that because for many women, you too have been through some things. You too are maybe be cautious. And if you really like him, fear can creep into you. You have now two people who are scared. And so neither side is getting clear communication as to what's going on. Both sides are trying to walk on eggshells and be mindful of what their next step is. Both sides are being guarded to the point where any little thing that looks like it's going to lead to something bad, you overanalyze, and now you jump ahead of yourself and jump to conclusions, and all these things that just make the situation bad. But at the end of the day, yes, his fear due to a greater desire for you, because let's be real, if he's not serious about you, if he's just trying to have fun, fear is not going to become an issue. Plain and simple. That only creeps in because of lack of healing mixed with true genuine intention, desire, and a want to be with you in something serious. So ultimately, what I want you to take away from that specific point is the one thing that's different from what I'm going to tell you later that will address all of this is that address the fear within you, because your fear can pour into his fear, just as his fear can pour into yours. And so the only things that we can do as individuals is to fortify ourselves by healing, by making sure we're walking in faith, by being honest and transparent, all these things, because that will help eliminate a lot of the confusion and help not letting the situation go left. Because again, I've seen so many people not end up together, or right now at this moment madly in love with each other and don't even know it because fear is getting in the way. And yes, in that scenario, it's a bag of mixed signals, because they're both thinking to themselves, I think she likes me, or I think he feels the same way about me, but neither is clear about where the other stands. All right, and so the last thing, and this kind of goes hand in hand with playing the games, the one who's blatantly playing games. And it boils down to he wants you, but he doesn't want to commit to you. So this is essentially the scenario where he wants to sleep with you. He wants to engage in that boyfriend, girlfriend stuff. But because he knows he doesn't want to commit to you, this is why you're seeing this maybe hot, cold. You're seeing these situations where he indulges in the moment. He's showing you all this affection and love and all these things. But because he knows he's not trying to take it all the way there, the next day he seems cold, or he seems out of sight, out of mind, or all these different things. And so again, he may genuinely like you. He may genuinely think you're a good woman. All right. And this also kind of goes hand in hand with he wants you, but he doesn't feel he's the one for you. The difference between those two is the first guy is trying more to hold back. This guy is allowing himself to dive in, even though he's not going to go all the way in. I hope you understand what I'm saying there. So that leads to a lot of the issues and confusion there. So here's what you need to understand about all this. First, a couple points, and then what you need to do to navigate no matter what the scenario is. Number one, always remember, indecision is a decision. Doesn't matter what the reason is. It doesn't matter fear, he's taken, whatever the case may be. If he seems indecisive, then that tells you, for whatever reason, he is not able right now to be what you need or to have a healthy relationship with you. Even the guy who's fearful and scared, the argument could be made, and of course there's more to this, but the argument could be made that he still needs to heal. So it's like, okay, even if you guys had a talk and discussed things, and now everybody's understood, okay, we're on the same page, it still exposed the fact that he may need to address some deeper issues within him to ensure that if you guys do come together, there's a healthy relationship to be had. So you have to understand that if he is sending mixed signals, it boils down to, okay, then now is not the time to even attempt to be with this man, or he's just not the man at all. The next thing, and this is really the main thing you have to just do to handle all of this, is do not overanalyze. So yes, I gave you a list of reasons why these things happen to give you some clarity into understanding into what happens with some of these men and the way their minds are working, right? But I don't want you to come across a situation and trying to go down through the whole list and analyze, well, what's going on here, what's going on there. Because in doing that, you will drive yourself crazy. And you're not going to make anything better. What you should do instead of overanalyze is talk to the man. When you see mixed signals, indecisiveness, whatever, address it. That's it. Address it. I know some of you may feel like, well, why should I have to address it? Why can't he just, be more forthcoming and transparent? I understand that. But for your sanity, forget about him. Forget about what he should do. For your sanity and what's best for you, address it. Because if you don't address it, even in scenarios where you say, okay, well, you know what? He's playing games or he's not serious. I'm going to walk away from this. If there's any desire lingering within you, any curiousness lingering within you, or hell, if there's a connection and genuine love lingering within you, it will cause now an unhealthy attachment to be formed. You may walk away physically, but emotionally, you will still be there. And it will be very easy for you to fall back into this cycle because you don't ever really have clarity on what's going on. And you don't really have peace about the situation. So you don't want to just cut off, because for so many women, that leads to more trouble. You want to address. Now, if in addressing it, he gives you the runaround and he's not straightforward with you, okay, your peace is in that you addressed it. You did your part and now you walk away. But you may gain more clarity that allows you to see what's going on. It also may allow you to resolve the situation properly where you can come together. Or it may just come to an understanding that, okay, well, yeah, he's just not the guy for me, and I move on in peace knowing he's not that guy, rather than we're just not on the same page right now. So address it and do what is truly best for you. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. It's one thing to fight for a man who loves you. but you shouldn't fight for a man to love you. Now remember that quote, because I'm going to break it down and help you understand the difference between those two things. But the reality is that many women, might be you,